Good morning, everybody. This is Dr. Hoskins. It's good to see you this morning. I want to talk to you about what's called the AFFRIN effect, the nasal spray. Also, how the body works. For me personally, I've been a little lethargic, so I thought, you know what, I'm going to drink a little bit more stronger coffee. I'm going to be adding, and that kind of worked for a little bit, then it kind of, the lethargy came back. Like, you know what, I'm going to add a little bit of these caffeine shots in the that can come as the creamers, and I'm going to use those to increase the caffeine. Maybe my body needs a little bit of help um, uh, getting more energy, and caffeine is a stimulant, so maybe it just needs that to process things to keep it going, and so I'm not as lethargic as I am now. I do know my size has a lot to do with it. Don't get me wrong there. Fully aware of that. But I'm like, you know what? So I'm adding in all of this caffeine, and the more caffeine I add, the worse it gets. And then I had some massive nosebleeds. Not normal nosebleeds. These are like I think I need to go to the hospital nosebleeds. And you got to thinking, you know what? The caffeine is doing the things that it directly controls, which is increase blood pressure and dries things out. But it was actually shutting down my adrenal glands, the things that I was wanting to help it stimulate. And the reason it helped for a little while is the body will respond to those artificial outside stimulants, chemicals, drugs, um, whatever you want to call them, and it will respond for a while, but then it will actually compensate the other way for it. And the reason I call this the AFFRIN effect, it's a very well known fact that if you use AFFRIN, nasal spray, for more than 4 days, it will actually start clogging you up and making what you're using it for even worse. So well known thing. The medics have known it for a while, and it's on the bottles, it's on the things. But it's also something we know from the illicit drug trade. The same high you got last week takes a little bit more stuff this week. The same euphoria you got from that drug takes a little bit more, or that plus another drug. And what it's trying to do is replace chemicals in the body that give you the same feeling. And the body will compensate, and the body will adapt, and the body will say that's going too far, so we're going to respond in the opposite way. And so that's why you have continued drug use, usually, typically, on the course of events of things happening, lead to overdoses, because at some point you're taking so much of these outside chemicals, the outside influences, that you're actually overwhelming the system to a point of death. So I wanted to share that with you because it's something that I just experienced recently. But chiropractic can actually break that cycle. There's a lot of research in the addiction side of how the brain works. That chiropractic, when applied appropriately with people recovering from addiction, there's a 98.5 non-recidivism rate. That means that 98 and a half people, 985 people out of 1,000, don't go back to their addictive ways if chiropractic is used in the recovery. Lots of studies out there, you can look it up. But it shows that when your body's moving properly, the endorphins that are released and the other chemicals that are released that are natural and expected by the body and have the body's ownership tag, if you will, made by Dwayne label on them, when they're released in the body accepts them in much, 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 much lower doses to affect the same result in a normal way. And so in chiropractic, frees up the body from these restrictions and allows the nervous system to function in a normal way. The tendency to have something to fix a deficit that I was having because I wasn't normal tends to go away. Obviously, there's other parts to that. There's counseling, there's training, there's awareness, there's support systems, all of that too. But when you put chiropractic in, it seems to take the the results over the top to where it completes the picture. So, if you find yourself being addicted to caffeine or to sugar or to any of these other outside food sources or chemicals, you need to break that habit. Chiropractic needs to help your body get back to a normal state so that you can go on living your life in a normal fashion. And that's all I'm going to say about that today. Y'all have a great time. Don't forget to come and get checked and get adjusted if necessary, because chiropractic needs to be a part of everybody's life. And make sure you tell somebody about us too. We appreciate it. Love you guys. Bye-bye.